So I have played for quite some time in Crystal of Atlan, and my character, Warlock, is kinda well developed, I guess, because I can show some decent results in co-op mode. I understand more or less mechanics about this character, what is going to work best in terms of gears, in terms of circuits, insignias, and stats overall. So in this video I will try to provide you the end game build for Warlock for you to understand what should you aim for, how can you maximize potential farming, get what you need, and so on. This is Rudicodex Video Games channel. Let's begin. And before we're going to start, just a quick reminder about my Discord server. Here I'm providing all the updates about games that I'm covering, doing announcements. Always happy to answer your questions if you have some, so feel free to join it. The link is going to be in the pinned comment. I'm covering several games, and right now I'm waiting for Chrono Odyssey, which is going to be potentially a huge one, MMORPG. At the end of June there is going to be a closed beta. Waiting for it. Now to the main topic of this video. So here we are, and you can see my character, 45.7k power, 25.4k gear rating, which is kind of decent. Nullification 5.9. And if we're going to have a look at what gears I have, everything is pretty much, I call it legendary. Here in this game it calls epic. And really important moment about my stats. So overall for Warlock class, I'm going to start with the parameters and stats that you should aim for and have like a top priority to get the best results, the best damage output, and so on. Of course, the main parameter which we're scaling off in terms of our Warlock is going to be pretty much obvious, intelligence, because it's going to increase magical attack, and as you can see 4360, it basically means increase attack by 436%. Also important really spirit, because this parameter is going to increase our magical crit rate. In my case it's 18%. Physique is just about survivability, it's about HP. Obviously magical attack, you want to push it as much as possible, and in my case for now I have 7000, almost 800. For defense shred, it's really important one parameter, because it's going to be kinda a multiplier which is going to just ignore enemies' defense, and your potential damage output is going to be increased. The other parameters which are matter, pretty much obvious, critical rate for magical damage. In my case you can see it's 70%, and if we are going to combine it with the spirit that we have 18%, it's basically 88%. So almost every time I'm going to crit with all my hits, with several exceptions, because yeah, we have 12% for non-crits. Critical damage, the other one important, because it's again a multiplier for all our crits. You want to push it as well. For the cooldown reduction, this I consider as one of the most important for Warlock, because his cooldowns, his skills, they're so freaking long, and it takes a lot of time for you to wait till the moment when you will be able to cast them again. And also speed attack, I think it should be some way not the top priority, but still it's kind of a useful one, because again it's going to increase the speed of your animation and the way you're going to cast your skills. So you're going to do it faster, means you're going to activate other skills faster, and overall your damage performance and output is going to be higher. For our Warlock, Umbro enhancement is the main stat, because basically all his skills, all his attacks are going with the effect of Umbro. It's like the dark magic, let's say, and yeah, pretty much straightforward. 64.9% increase. I have this parameter at 142. So the main question, how I was able to get all of these numbers, and stats. When we're going to gear, and here we're starting to have a look what they're going to provide, of course, enhancement plays quite an important role. The higher enhancement level you will be able to get yourself, the higher some of the main parameters are going to be increased. You can see enhancement attributes. For example, for helmet, we are able to get ourselves shred for defense at a certain level. The other gears that we have, some of them they're giving HP, physique, others like gloves for example, also they have shred defense. For the weapon, it's our main source of shred defense. And pretty much obvious, epic gear in the main attributes gives higher parameters. So also when we're talking specifically about gears, we have a lot of different classes, and when we are farming gears, we have chances to get ourselves gears which is not suitable for us. We're not going to receive stats that we need to have, and also we have actually specific gears for Warlock. Other classes they have the same, and I'm going to explain it as well. So yeah, when you're farming, it doesn't really matter what kind of gears you're going to receive from other classes. Let's say you wanna focus specifically on your class, with several exceptions. For example, if you're getting some piece of gear where is written here, for example, magician, not the warlock, you can see the main stats, they're going to be kinda similar to what we have. I mean, overall importance, some basic stats. So in this case, this piece of gear is a temporary one. You can use it for sure, but for example, for some fighters, for physical attackers, it doesn't make sense to use that gear. If it's epic level, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's going to give you more nullification, but it's not going to give you useful stats like at all. And now specifically about the gear for class. Yeah, the first gear that we're starting is actually the void gear, and it's going to be a good one starting gear, but at certain moment you're going to understand that it's like a neutral one. It just gives some useful stats, but nothing except for it. The effects, they're not that cool, they're not that important, they're kind of universal for every class, and we don't really need this. We want to focus on our class specifically. So when you're going to the end game, you're going to farm Abyssal Purgatory, and about this moment I'm going to discuss a bit in more details. I will explain everything. You will have certain chances to get gears for your class, and each class in this one row, they have class specific gears. So for Warlock it calls Nocturnal Quill hat, and all the other pieces they are also Nocturnal. When we're going to have a look what's special about it, so first of all, in additional attributes we're going to receive some really useful stats like magical attack, Umbra enhancement, magical crit, and also specific buffs for Warlock class. Like here for example, for helmet, when performing an extreme dodge restores 4000 HP. Yes, it's also going to provide you some side effects. For example, with 2 pieces you're going to have extra damage increase for every 55 points of Umbra enhancement. That's why for your class, for Warlock, you want to focus on Umbra. At 4 pieces you're going to receive some additional Umbra and cooldown reductions and so on, some useful additional benefits from gears which are going to kind of play a huge role at the end. So in my case, as you can see, I have 3 out of 5 pieces. When we're going specifically to my gear sets, we are going to have a look. I'm missing helmet for now, I am missing pants. That's basically all I miss in terms of gears. For the accessories, for example, I have already the necklace for Warlock, and it's also going to provide us some Umbra enhancement, crit, magical attack, some additional buffs for our skills specifically. This is an important moment. I have the ring for Warlock as well, and it also gives Umbra, crit, cooldown reduction and additional effects. I'm missing for now the bracer. The seal is still not the right one, is for magician, but again you can see, for example, for magician we're going to receive some fairly decent and useful stats. We're not going to receive full effect from it, but still is better than nothing. And here we have the talisman. It's also for Warlock. I got lucky at some point. So about circuits, I will break it down really simple without any deep details and so on, because it doesn't really matter. I mean, it matters, but you wanna get yourself at least 3 out of 4 useful stats that I mentioned before when I was discussing our class in general. These are parameters that you want to aim for. For example, here I have intelligence, spirit, Umbra enhancement. That's perfect. Yeah, Electra, I don't really need it, I don't really want it, but it is what it is. If you're able to get 4 out of 4 useful stats, that's great, that's perfect. All the rest, it doesn't really matter. If you have at least 3 out of 4, that's great. Farming circuits, again, it's some your daily activities like in Abyssal Purgatory, some conquests and so on. There is nothing special about it, just it's going to take some time until you're going to get something decent. Now about Insignias, here is an important one. So basically with Insignias you're going to balance the stats that you're missing. And again, we're going to use here to get ourselves some useful stats that we need for our class, like critical damage, like magical attack, magical crit, Umbra enhancement. This is the big one of the biggest, I should say. The Joker Insignia is just MVP for our class, and we want to use it for sure because it's going to increase our damage output, it's going to give us Umbra enhancement parameter, and it's going to have an effect for certain pieces of gears. As you saw, they're going to increase our damage based on this parameter. For under Insignia, for example, in the ring is going to be one of the best because it's going to increase all attributes. Well, here we also have Umbra enhancement, damage bonuses, skill damage increase, something like that. So basically you want to focus on some main damage parameters. Now let's talk a little bit about farming. What do you want to do, how you want to focus on this. Basically on your main account, and I'm saying main account, yeah, because ideally for this game you actually want to have some alt accounts. This is an important moment, I will explain it. You want to focus specifically on Abyssal Purgatory. This is going to be the top 1 priority. And yes, we have here a prayer effect, so basically you're able to increase the chances of drop for the gears that you're missing, that you're looking for. I got lucky with couple pieces. For example, I got the weapon from here. I also believe I got some other gears by chance, not by choice. And I got one more piece of gear, I don't remember which one exactly, by exactly choice from here. And yes, for it you need to get yourself Abyssal Desarium. Basically you can get it in the Void store. 800k, oh 80k I mean gold. Yeah, kinda expensive, but what am I doing? I'm buying or 10 or 20 pieces per day. So basically I do farming on my main account, on my alt accounts. I'm transferring all the gold to my main account, and here I'm buying 20 per day to actually get some additional effect for Abyssal Purgatory. I mean, increase my chances for desired 1 pieces. And yeah, here is the set basically that you want to get for Warlock. Here are they, all of them. Nothing special, you just going one by one, looking what kind of parameters and stats they are going to provide you, what you're missing the most, what is going to be more beneficial for you, and just trying to get them. Yes, of course, it's going to take you time. The other daily activity which you actually wanna do is going to be for sure the Void Realm. In my case, I actually started farming the Ravine Realm, the Wally Realm. I'm only focusing on Nest, and here I'm spending 20 green energy because this is an important moment for you to get the legendary drop. It's going to be absolutely random, but when we're going here to have a look what is going to provide you in terms of potential drops, and again we can see that here we actually can get with a certain chance randomly pieces of gear for specifically our class. So you wanna spend energy here once a day, 3 times a week. Also for Desirium, I mean, you can get additional pieces by melting, I mean dismantling epic gears which are not useful for you. Also, right now we're going slightly to cover a topic about alt accounts. I'm going to explain why is it also important. It's going to be all about farming, so I'm going to show you real quick. As you can see here, I have in total 5 accounts, 1 main and 4 alt accounts. 4 alt accounts, they are only for farming purposes. And when we're going to talk what they're going to do, all their energy you wanna spend in 2 places, basically switching one to each other from time to time. In most of the cases you're going to spend all of your energy in critical conquest. So here you're able to farm bosses, you have certain chance to get yourself epic Insignias, which is kinda rare, I mean really rare, but you're going to get yourself some hunting permits, some strategies codes. They are also important for you to actually do farming of co-op mode, of Abyssal Purgatory. So yeah, you wanna do farming it on your alt accounts, like almost all the time, with certain exceptions. When you have enough hunter passes on your main account, you understand that you have some resources to actually transfer some gear, and I'm going to explain how it's going to work. You can spend 1 day a week maybe farming Abyssal Purgatory fully for your alt accounts, maybe a couple times a week, but not more than that, because again, main sources, everything should go to your main account. And also you're going to farm gold, so again you're going to transfer this gold to your main account. So about transferring gears, here it calls advanced transfer stone, and it's not really that easy to get it. Well, until you're a pay-to-win player. If you're a pay-to-win player, you have ways to actually get it, but if we're talking about free-to-play players, it's kind of rare thing, and the way you can actually get it is going to be crafting. And when we're going to talk about crafting, there is one guy on the map, Guldar, the Merchants Guild official, and when we're going here in purchases, you can actually get yourself the fragment for the transfer stone. Yes, you're going to receive tokens based on likes that you're going to receive. The other way to receive additional likes is actually donations here, and it's again farming, maybe some gears that's not really useful, maybe some insignias that are not really useful, or some materials that you're able to farm in different regions. For these transfer stones, basically to craft the cube, you need to get 10 pieces. After that, you will be able to actually craft one full cube, and you saw it, in my case it was a craftable one. There you also have chances, I believe, to buy some parts in the shop sometimes, like the Wanderer's shop, but I don't think about anything else except for it. So yeah, when you have days when you're farming, for example, Abyssal Purgatory with your alt accounts, and for example you got the piece that you're missing by any chance for Warlock, you're able to get this stone, get this cube to your alt account and transfer the epic gear that you're missing to your main account. That's how it's going to work. It's kinda rare, but chance again, so yeah. In most of the cases you're going to provide all the resources, especially permits, to your main account. They're basically for farming, otherwise you're going to miss these tickets, which are kinda really important here. Yep, as you can see on the right side about the solo challenge, you have tickets required 363, that's what I have, and I need to spend 30 to actually make a run. This is going to be considered to a pity. Each 15 drops is going to give you an epic gear, and that's pretty much it about it. Now, not going to take a lot of time about skills. Yeah, the last one skill, Full Awakening, obviously I have it and I'm using it. It deals just some crazy damage, like unreal huge. And for skill specifically for the build that I'm using, I'm going to pin the preset code in the comment section on my Discord server. You can find it, but overall I'm using all the most damage skills. For the Leech one, it's really important for our build because it's going to recover us HP from all skills that we're using. So yeah, the code is going to be attached to the pinned comment, and if you're interested just to see overall how my points are distributed, you can pause the video, you can have a look what am I using. Yep, I showed you everything and about my configuration. Here is my configuration. Just keep in mind all by icons and so on, again in a pinned comment and on my Discord. And yes, of course, you should keep in mind that on daily basis when you're doing farming, you're actually getting yourself some materials which you will be able to use in future for crafting some missing gears. For Warlock I have 430 such pieces, and maybe in the nearest future, in a couple of days, I will be able to get myself the piece that I'm missing, which might boost my account even further. I'm not going to spend for now any currency to push this gear to level 60. I don't think it's really that important. I'm not sure about it, I might be wrong. Maybe I will be pushing everything step by step, or maybe I will start to actually craft in advance some level 60 epic 1 gears, which I'm able to get myself from the co-op mode. For these specific gears we need to farm materials from co-op mode. Yep, it's not the fast process, again, it's going to take a lot of time. It is what it is, there is no rush in terms of this game. And I hope I covered pretty much everything. If I missed something, just let me know in the comment section below. And yeah guys, if you're interested in something specifically, because to be honest there is not that many things to cover in this game, if you want to know something just let me know, maybe I'll have a look and I will be able to provide a guidance. For now it's just farming process. For this video that's pretty much it, hope you enjoyed it. Again, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, and see you guys in the next one. Take care.